3, 2, 1.
Happy Friday, Friday the 13th.
Oh yes, Friday the 13th. An interesting day that we will kind of break down in just a little bit. And you are now watching KSAT News Now, coming to you from our newsroom, streaming on KSAT Plus, KSAT.com. And don't want to forget about YouTube Live, because Andrew Wilson, our social media executive producer, told us yesterday that we got some pretty good people on YouTube Live. Yeah,
so thanks
Comment
for watching.
Yeah.
Also, the people listening to the podcast.
Absolutely.
I was actually listening to yesterday's podcast on my way to work this morning.
How'd we sound?
Good. It was all the chuckles, and it was quiet, like it is today.
I know, yeah. It's definitely got a little bit of a Friday feeling to it.
Could it be
sure.
because it's Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Very nice. Dramatic pause right there.
Okay, so there are a lot of superstitions out there. I don't believe, but we'll talk more about some of the history behind the day and really how it's played into the pop culture.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Obviously, yeah, it's always a day that people kind of think about. And like you said, maybe, I don't know, do people just stay home today because they didn't even want to risk going out?
I don't know.
Is that what happened? Oh, that's right.
They
yeah.
get tattoos?
They've actually had things in San Antonio too. That's producer Alyssa chiming in there. Getting
They
tattoos.
get tattoos, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a big one
I haven't
there.
heard about that.
We are also going to be talking about a pair of tributes this morning, one honoring a San Antonio icon and the other celebrating the life of a country music legend.
Yeah, but first we want to start with a manhunt that's underway here in Texas for an inmate who crashed a bus and managed to escape.
Yeah, very scary situation here. So the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and DPS is searching for 46-year-old Gonzalo Lopez. He's serving a life sentence for killing a man with a pickaxe.
So yesterday, he and 15 other inmates were being moved from a facility in Gatesville to Huntsville when Lopez managed to slip out of his shackles, stab the bus driver, crash the bus into a ditch, and then finally taking off on foot.
Yeah, crazy scene there. So the driver is okay and no one else was hurt and no other inmates escaped, but Lopez is still on the run this morning.
So as a precaution, some nearby schools had to be put on lockdown, and that was yesterday, and then classes are being canceled today.
That's right, and this isn't the first time that something like this has happened in Texas. In 2019, an MMA fighter suspected of killing 2 people escaped a transport van. He was found hiding in a trash can after a 9-hour manhunt. So obviously officials on the lookout for this individual here, and it's makes you just kind of think about these situations when you're transporting inmates, and in this situation the driver ends up getting pretty seriously injured here, and kind of that danger there as well. I guess I don't know what happened there.
Well, there's non-life-threatening injuries to the driver. Just want to clarify that part. There was a scuffle between them. There were 2, the driver and I believe another correctional officer on the bus. But that wasn't enough. I mean, perhaps this was planned because he did have those shackles on. He did manage to take those off, and that's how he made it to the front of the bus. But authorities are asking that people who live in the area to lock their doors, of course vehicles as well, and if they see anything suspicious, to report it, and if they were to spot Lopez, to not approach that suspect. That's never a good idea. Instead, you're asked to call 911. So this area there that he ran off in, it's between Dallas and Houston, a rural area, Leon County. So it makes sense why they're not taking any chances and canceling schools, and there is a hunt today. I mean, already the helicopter for DPS out there trying to search for this individual. So we'll keep you updated with that.
Yeah, the Centerville School District, right? That's the one that went on lockdown. So obviously a lot of things to be concerned with there as they search for this individual. Okay, moving on to the latest now in the war in Ukraine. A lot of developments there. People there are fighting back against Russian forces this morning.
So Ukrainians have blown up 2 bridges in order to stop Russian troops from crossing rivers into Ukraine's second largest city. And this is something that we did see at the beginning. They were taking matters into their own hands and, taking down these bridges, Ukrainians, because they didn't want Russians coming in here.
That's right. That includes these pontoon bridges as well. So a lot of interesting thing there. A military administrator says Russia keeps trying to put up more bridges, but of course Ukrainians there are doing, as we just mentioned right there, they continue to blow them up and just try and block any sort of passageway there for those Russian troops.
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, missiles struck 2 areas in eastern Ukraine, hitting a city that is one of Russia's main prospects to take over.
Yeah, so obviously the war continuing there, and you know, we've said it for weeks now. Ukrainian forces, a lot of these individuals there, you know, fighting back, fighting to hopefully preserve what's left of that country. Obviously, there's been a ton of damage. A lot of people have been evacuated. Unfortunately, a lot of deaths there as well. So, doing anything to just try and, you know, keep their country, keep what's they're still theirs. Yeah.
And it's even right now when you say it, to save what's left of their country.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. I mean, they're still fighting back to protect what is theirs.
Yeah.
So it's just a sad situation. And then you hear about the stories of the Ukrainians here in San Antonio, and it's hard because they have to continue with their lives here in the U.S., but they're thinking of their parents, of their brothers and sisters back at home, and trying to do their best to raise funds to just let people know, and the Ukrainian people know that they are not forgotten, that there are people over here fighting for them in some way, shape, or form too.
Yeah, I was reading a story earlier this week about these 2 young not San Antonio boys, but Ukrainian boys that have relocated here to San Antonio. They were evacuated, and they were talking about, you know, their family. And I think in the article it said something to the effect of like, well, you know, do you feel like you guys are gonna see them again? And they were just basically just like, well, we'll see. We hope so. You know, so it's a very tough situation way around.
Now to those tributes that we were talking about earlier. So the queen of country music will be remembered on Sunday with a public celebration, and her fans, I'm sure, will be very thankful for
Absolutely. So a celebration for the life of Naomi Judd will have tributes from family and friends, along with never before seen performances.
So ABC's Robin Roberts will host the memorial for Judd, who died in April at the age of 76, and we'll remember again that right away the family, the daughters were saying that this was due to mental health illness. This week it was later revealed that it was due to her taking her own life. So you know, that's tough, and it brings to light again how difficult it is to manage mental health.
And that was Ashley Judd, right? That basically said that her mom had taken her own life there. So this special will air commercial-free at 5 p.m. on CMT and is being held at the former home of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
Shiley McBride, Brandy Carlisle, Little Big Town, those are some of the big names scheduled to perform. There will also be messages from Morgan Freeman, Oprah Winfrey, Selma Hayek, just of all walks of life, all cultures, and again, music unites, and this is definitely a queen of country. Yeah, absolutely. So Naomi Judd, and of course the Judds, you know, transcended music, really kind of that golden age of this country music era, which was, a lot of people say it's like, you know, this is the country that they kind of miss sometimes. Kind of like the real like classic country music there. So Naomi Judd's husband and her daughters, Winona and Ashley Judd, are also scheduled to make appearances at this public celebration. Again, Sunday at 5 o'clock on CMT. What strength that family has shown in a time that any death is always difficult, but especially when a family member takes their own life. Unfortunately, it touches so many of us, my family included. But to be able to go on such a huge public platform and be able to talk about this, tough, but again, all for the fans, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that kind of struck me initially when this happened, because I was thinking to myself, because remember the Judds had actually just been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or
the day
country
after.
Music?
The day after.
Right. And so to me it was a little strange that they were in public, that Ashley and Winona were out there, especially after their mother had passed away. But now that I kind of think about it a little bit more, you're right. I mean, they're really kind of trying to be out there for people that are suffering from mental health, and they know that this was something that was an affliction of their mothers, so they are definitely getting the word out on this and want people to know more. So initially I thought it was kind of weird. I thought maybe they would still be in mourning, but they've been very strong about this.
Well, that's the thing.
With their mother's passing.
People deal with it differently, and this family is definitely, I mean, they're used to the limelight, to sharing with fans, but another person who's being honored. We've shown a lot of love to the Market Square legend over the past couple of months, and we're talking about Hispanic Elvis, and now so is Mi Tierra.
Yes, this is a spot right there. So the late Hispanic Elvis, John Esquivel is his name, is being honored in a very special way at the same spot where he spent so much time. Mi Tierra at Market Square created an altar to honor his life.
So if you've ever been to Mi Tierra, you walk in at either side and you see that they have so many ofrendas, so many altars. Well, they have an altar to honor those that, part of the community,
Right.
part of the family. So it's been nearly 2 months since the San Antonio icon passed away. Hispanic Elvis was known for entertaining crowds at Market Square for more than 2 decades. So this is just awesome to see.
Absolutely.
And this is really a big altar.
Right, and he was synonymous with Mi Tierra there. I mean, a bunch of people take photos with him and always sort of greet him. And so shortly after his passing, Mi Tierra did create a small ofrenda for Hispanic Elvis, but they wanted to make something bigger to obviously match his pretty lively and big persona.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Always dancing, always willing to take pictures with the crowds there at Market Square. So if you want to go take a picture, pay your respects, the new altar will remain in the Mi Tierra lobby until May 26th, but Mi Tierra did say they will honor Hispanic Elvis in a more permanent way soon. So immediately when I read that, I was thinking of the big mural that they have in the back room.
You read my mind.
So could that be an addition? That would be huge, because one, to even sit in that area is always so exciting because it's really just for bigger parties.
Right.
But if he were to be included in that, I mean, it's all icons there.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned earlier, for people that maybe had not been to Mi Tierra, it is literally like a timeline of San Antonio legends on that mural. So I think that would fit. I don't know exactly what those plans are to honor him in a more permanent way, but I definitely think that he's part of the fabric of Mi Tierra, Market Square, and also the history of that area. So I'd like to see him on that mural. That mural always kind of like, I look at it, and I'm just kind of like, wow, this is like San Antonio in a wall, pretty much.
Yeah, no, not
when it
pretty
comes
much,
to
fully
icons.
much. Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so Friday the 13th, the day that many people fear or have superstitions about.
Oh, boy.
I talked to Katrina Weber earlier and asked her, do you have any superstitions? She said no, but she did remind us, let us know that it is Stevie Wonder's birthday. He's 72 years old today.
Love Stevie. There
that's what she was saying.
Flying on the wall.
That was not
There you go.
me
That was
singing. That
Alyssa.
was producer Alyssa Medina.
Wow, and
Make
she
that
hit the
clear.
note great right there, yeah. So there's a lot of superstitions that go along with Friday the 13th, but the number itself, 13, a lot of people consider this bad luck because we talk about high-rise buildings, hotels, and hospitals. They're all scared as well, so they usually skip the 13th floor in hotels or in taller buildings, and even at many airports, you'll notice that they do not have gates number 13.
Or even on the plane, check next time you go, there's no 13th row.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so it's an actual fear. Here, there are two terms, and I'm going to try to pronounce it.
Okay.
Frigatriskydecaphobia, that's one,
Okay.
or paraskevidecatriophobia. The most common one is the first one, the Frigatriskydecaphobia.
Okay.
And that, again, is the fear, the actual fear of Friday the 13th.
Just being scared of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so a little bit of you did great, by the way, though.
Thank you.
I was wondering if, you're going to be able to knock those out. That was awesome. And so going back to a little bit of the origins of this, so this actually kind of goes back to ancient Roman times when witches gathered in groups of 13, and it was speculated that one of the members was the devil. Also, death is the 13th card in a tarot deck.
Yeah, so it is associated, or a lot of people associate it with that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fears and beliefs surrounding Friday the 13th that are really only made it worse, I think, or enhanced it by pop culture. So you have the movie Friday the 13th, then you have the Apollo 13 mission, and even Judas's 13th seat at the Last Supper. So a lot of 13s. Coincidence?
I think
We'll
not.
never know.
Friday the 13th, that's a Freddy Krueger, right?
I think
I
so.
need to go back to my horror movie history there. So if you believe in Friday the 13th, the bad news is that all years will have at least one Friday the 13th. The good news is that there can be no more than 3 in the same calendar year. Sorry, that was me.
Can we put them on camera? And can you do that?
Sure. I don't know what that was. Just trying to think of a scary sound. Do you have any superstitions?
No.
Nothing?
No. Like the whole like splitting the pole, don't step on the crowds.
Oh,
like
that's a
I
big
don't even
one.
believe in all of that. So definitely not Friday the 13th.
Yeah. If I see a black cat, I'm just going home.
Really?
Just plain.
I mean, I will admit, okay, the black cat, if I see
Yeah.
it cross in front of me, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start praying.
Don't walk under
Yo me
ladders.
persino y ya. Like, let's
Just do
keep on
yourself a
going.
little,
Yeah.
sign of the cross, and you're
Let's
good to go.
go.
All
Yeah.
right. That should be good to go.
Katie.
Yes.
Do you believe in?
No,
Oh, boo.
none of it. I really, this is gonna sound really lame, but I'm interested in like the paranormal. And so I feel
yeah.
like this is like kind of like in the same vein, but not really. But
Yeah.
I'm all about the black cats. Give me all your black cats if you don't want them. I think they're super
We're
cute.
gonna show up to work tomorrow, and there's gonna be like a.
37 black cats waiting outside like, hi, we heard you asked for us.
We're waiting for Katie.
Theo needs
take 'em.
some
Yeah.
I
buddies.
always wanted. Do y'all remember watching the show Sabrina, the teenage?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Loved
absolutely.
it.
Oh, what was the cat's name?
I do not know. I'll Google it. for
Otis?
you.
Okay.
No.
Otis.
Sabrina.
Yeah, I thought it was not Otis. Henry. No.
Henry.
Otis.
Is it Salem? It's
It
Salem.
is Salem.
Yeah,
Salem.
duh,
Great name.
that's so obvious.
It would be Salem.
Great name. Great name.
Kind of obvious.
Good
I
stuff.
want a
Okay.
Salem.
Otis.
Oh,
Salem Saberhagen.
really?
Wow, last name
That's
too.
that's his.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Fancy.
All right. Well,
There you
all
go.
the Salems,
Fancy schmancy.
please make it to our door.
Yeah, oh, I gotcha. So we are in for a hot weekend, but we're going to catch a little bit of a break today, you guys. And the reason why is because we've had some cloud cover move in from the west. So even in the 7 and 8 o'clock hours this morning, we were starting to get some sun. And then some high, thin clouds started moving in from the west. And now when you look outside, it's a little bright here or there, but we've got this veil of high, thin clouds over us, and that's going to keep it from being as hot this afternoon. I'm just shaving a few degrees off your afternoon high temperatures. There's some lower clouds where you see the brighter white, Sabinal, Uvalde, La Pryor. Those are some lower clouds, but we've had this veil of high, thin cloud cover move in from the west. And the reason why was because there was a complex of showers and storms that weakened over Valverde County earlier this morning. There's still some lingering rain from Comstock down to Del Rio, even just west of Brackettville, and also west of Eagle Pass there and Maverick County. But as that thunderstorm complex kind of fell apart over Valverde County, the cloud cover associated with it has continued to move east. So with some additional cloud cover into the afternoon, we're going to bring our high temperatures down a few degrees. Now, because a lot of this is high, thin cloud cover, it's not going to stay cool all day long. And in fact, we could see some of this really try to break up and clear out by later in the afternoon. Once we really start to get some good sun, that should allow us to pop into the low 90s. So again, it's not going to be jacket weather outside today with this additional cloud cover. It's just going to help us from getting as hot as the past couple of days. Later on this evening, we'll look back out to the west toward the Rio Grande. Be watching for a few more showers and storms to pop up, mainly over northern Mexico. A few of those could try to move into some of our westernmost communities. Anything that develops will fizzle out after sunset once we lose the heat of the day. But nonetheless, keep in mind if you're in Del Rio, Rock Springs, even Brackettville and Kinney County, a few isolated strong to severe storms will be possible later on today. So again, with this additional cloud cover, not going to be cool today, but we bring our highs down just a little bit. More low to mid 90s on the board today versus upper 90s and triple digits. Now that changes this weekend. We go back the other direction, closer to 100 both Saturday and Sunday. Record Saturday is 97. We're forecasting 97 for you there. The record on Sunday is 96. We're forecasting 98. So hot and sunny this weekend. The additional cloud cover is really just for today, unfortunately. Something else cool happening this weekend. Total lunar eclipse is happening Sunday night. Totality begins around 10:30 and ends closer to midnight. Thankfully, we do have good sky conditions in the forecast for this eclipse, you guys. And again, this is when the moon turns a shade of red. And I know a lot of people really like to see that. So it is late Sunday night. Definitely after bedtime for the kiddos, but viewing should be good with mostly clear to completely clear skies for this eclipse. That's kind of a little treat.
Very
love
Friday the 13th-ish.
Oh
True.
my gosh.
It's all coming together.
This is, oh my God. That's the third time.
Yeah.
Another
I'm
one.
gonna get it. I'm gonna do as many here.
Another one.
Okay, that's one.
On cue. Okay, so yeah, Saturday is gonna be hot. Hot,
Right,
hot.
yeah.
But if you love tacos and if you believe that San Antonio is the taco capital of the world, well, you need to make it out to tomorrow's big event at Travis Park. We're talking about Taco Fest, music y más. Shameless
All
plug here.
right. Yes, absolutely. It is going down there at Travis Park. So dozens of restaurants, taquerias, and food trucks are participating, bringing together more than 40 taco joints. Yes, taco vendors will compete in a variety of categories. And there's going to be a lot of stuff there going on.
From breakfast tacos to puffy and everything in between. I'll actually be judging.
There you are. Look at
There
that.
I am.
For
I'm
people looking at our
excited.
visual platforms.
I've been really good with my nutrition this week. So
Oh, you've been waiting for this?
I've been
You've
waiting
just
for
been
this. I
kinda
did have a
gearing up
corn
for
dog
this?
and a hot
It's like-
dog yesterday at the Missions game, but that's nor here nor there.
Yes, it's like training for a vet. Yes, you got to get ready to go. That's pretty cool. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to, you're gonna have to give us a little debrief on that. So the event kicks off at noon with music by Mariachi Las Aledañas. Is that how you say it?
Aledañas.
Aledañas. There we go.
Mariachi Las Aledañas.
Aledañas. They'll have food demo, storytelling, plus the great Austin versus San Antonio debate, taco debate. To me, it's a no. It's no match. Yeah.
I don't know.
We will see. Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah.
I think that's actually very cool that that this Taco Fest is expanding and now including those conversations, the demos. But really, I mean, it just goes to show how important this unofficial meal,
Yeah,
food
yeah.
of San Antonio and really just South Texas, in general, plays such a huge role and represents part of our culture.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
definitely.
to see the different fusions that
Absolutely.
come with a taco. So I'm excited. If you're participating, bring your A game.
Okay, there you go.
What should I take into consideration?
What's that?
What should I take into consideration? Like that the tortilla isn't soggy.
Okay.
Homemade.
Yes. Now the tortillas, that to me is the key to the taco there. And
an
if you
art
talk
in
to
itself.
if you talk to anyone that has done food, San Antonio tortillas, homemade, that's got to be it. Cannot be
the
soggy. Cannot
salsa.
really be too soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the list of some of these participating taco places. We're talking about this is going to be from, I guess, like places from outside San Antonio too. RGV Barbacoa, that's one of them too. Veres Barbacoa, oh, Barbacoa, very nice. Okay.
I wonder if they're
a lot
going
of
to
good
serve
ones.
the judges with a side of Big Red.
Oh, well, there you go. Are you just trying to get some stuff here? That's what you're trying to do right now.
That's why I said yes to being a judge.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I see a fish seafood bar taco place. So wow.
Oh, a shrimp
Really a lot of
taco
fun
maybe?
stuff.
Tilapia?
Ooh, there you go. Nice. Yeah. So
Ooh,
yeah, that's
birria
gonna be.
tacos. I want some birria tacos.
Oh, that'd be really good. Yeah, yeah, really, really good. So yeah, you're gonna have to report back
Yeah.
and let us know how that
I'll
goes.
let y'all know.
Wanted to also say, as Katie just mentioned, it's gonna be really hot this weekend. I was out at Morgan's Wonderland earlier today because the Special Olympics Texas is underway. This is the first time that they've had the Summer Games back in San Antonio since 2019. Nearly 2,000 athletes, 10,000 people they're expected out there that are gonna be like out there cheering these athletes
Absolutely.
on. We talked to one earlier. He was playing soccer. He said that he loves playing. I mean, it was a really cool scene. They're already getting things going. Just stay hydrated out there.
Yeah,
and try
absolutely.
and stay hydrated. Wear your sunscreen. Yeah.
Light clothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're going to an all-day event, there's so many people that carry around their umbrella and their
Yeah.
lawn chair, and that way, they're
Boom.
shaded.
Ready to go. Ready to go.
It makes a difference. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to this edition, Friday the 13th edition
Whoa.
of KSAT News Now. See you Monday at 11 a.m.
Have a good weekend, everybody.